Hello, my name is Melinda. Welcome to Web of Stories. This is another video in my day of filming a bunch of videos, so I have something to put out whenever they redo our roof. I just had a cough drop. I had my Waterloo, so hopefully it won't be too coughy. I got something weird going on with my hair there. That's a problem when you film on your phone and you can see yourself. You're like, my hair's weird. Anyway. I am here with my October book haul revisit. So the idea of this is you go back and you look at the books that you hauled in that month in years past and see what you have read and have not read. I just started really keeping track of this last year, so I'm only going back to 2023, which is good because there's a lot. Also, I will go through everything that I have on here, but then any book that I say that I have read or unhauled, I'm not gonna touch back with it again when I do this again next year. So I'll take those off. So the next year when you see this, they'll just be the books that I talk about here that I haven't read as of now. So I wrote this down. 22 books came in last October. This was before mindful book buying started. So let me go through this. Again, too hard to go find all the books, so pictures up there. The first one I have two audiobooks from Libro. It looks like I used a credit and there was a sale. So my credit I used on Democracy Awakening by Heather Cox Richardson. If you don't know, Heather Cox Richardson is a historian, but she, with the Trump administration, started doing these letters to America and these daily check-ins. And she's really very astute, very knowledgeable. I still listen to her letters to America. I listen to them. I get them in a podcast form. I have not yet listened to this. Mostly because I haven't been in the right mind space. I can tell you I will listen to it. I probably will not listen to it before November, and then we'll see how things go in November. Okay? But yeah, that one's there. The second one, which was the one I got on sale, is The Twist of a Knife by Anthony Horowitz. This is another in his Hawthorne and Horowitz series. I don't remember what number, but I'll get to it when I get to it, because I've read the first two. Or if I've read three. I've read 2 or 3. And I don't know what number that one is. Okay, then I have a couple books I pulled out of a little free library. I don't usually take books out of little free libraries, but I apparently did in October. And the first one is Back When We Were Grownups by Anne Tyler. Anne Tyler is a very well-known author in the United States, very well respected, and I have yet to read anything by her, so I pulled that one and I have not yet read it. It's still sitting on my shelf. And the second one I got is The Secrets Between Us by Thrity Umrigar. Now, I got this and then I realized it's book 2 in a series or in a duology or whatever, but there's a book that comes before it. So I have that book tagged in Libby and I will get to it. This book is just kind of on hold until I read that one first. Then I had a pre-order that I was very much looking forward to, and I'm very happy to say I started reading as soon as I got it and I finished it. And that is Roman Stories by Jhumpa Lahiri. I adore Jhumpa Lahiri. And Roman Stories, which is our first short story collection in a while, certainly didn't disappoint. And they're all set, obviously, in Rome. Highly recommended. Loved it. After that, I have a handful of books that I picked up at Powell's. The first one is one that I picked up with plans to read in Shorty September this year, and that did not happen. And I thought, well, maybe I'll read it in Victober, and I don't think that's going to happen either, so maybe I will read it next Shorty September, and that is Flatland, A Romance of Many Dimensions by Edwin A. Abbott. This is sort of a Victorian science fiction. I don't know, I'm just curious. If you watch my channel, you know September was kind of a mess, and I didn't get to a lot of what I planned to. So that one's still on hold. But I did get to Bartleby the Scrivener. I moved it. I was gonna say it was right here, but it's not. And I really enjoyed that. Sadder than I expected, but definitely worth the read. Normally you would find this book in a short story collection. I just happened to come across a little single volume of it, which I picked up and I read it this year for Shorty September. After that, I have 2 books I've not yet gotten to. First is Legends of the North Cascades by Jonathan Evison. I picked this up off the remainder shelf. It just looked interesting. It's up on my TBR bookshelf. You know, when the dice roll works, it'll probably come down. That's where we are with that one. And then I have a short story anthology of it's retellings of fairy tales by well-known authors. I can't remember all the authors in it. I know that Neil Gaiman, who I know, purchased this before that. Neil Gaiman is one of the authors in it, but he is not the only one. And that is My Mother, She Killed Me, My Father, He Ate Me by Kate Bernheimer. Now there's another volume that's retellings of Greek mythology. And I think I went to get both of them, but they only had this one. But it's up in my short story collection pile, and when it comes down, it comes down. Okay, so then I got some classics on audio from Libro. The first is The Fall of the House of Usher by Edgar Allan Poe. I had just read the What Moves the Dead by T. Kingfisher, so I wanted to read The Fall of the House of Usher, which I got on audio. I enjoyed it. I think it would have been better to read this before What Moves the Dead, because I liked What Moves the Dead more. So it did suffer in comparison, which is not fair, because What Moves the Dead is a retelling, but that's just the way the cookie crumbles. And then because it was spooky season and it was apparently on sale, I got The Turn of the Screw by Henry James. And I was planning to read The Turn of the Key by Ruth Ware, which I didn't get to. Didn't especially like The Turn of the Screw. I don't think Henry James is an author for me. I just don't think he is. So we'll see. And then after that, I got my 2023, for 2023, Best American Mystery and Suspense and Best American Short Stories collection. Best American Mystery and Suspense was edited by Lisa Unger, who I've not read, so I don't know anything about her books. And the Best American Short Stories was edited by Min-Jin Lee, who I have read. And I could definitely see her influence reflected in the choice of stories. But I enjoyed both of those anthologies. And my 2024 editions will be arriving later this month. So there you go. Let's see. Oh, I also ordered, because he had just won the Nobel Prize, A Shining by Jon Fosse. I've not read it yet. I could have read it for Story September, but I didn't. It's up there. Then I have a little Christmas novella, The Christmas Appeal by Janice Hallett. As you know, I love Janice Hallett. I love her books. This is the follow-up. It's a follow-up, or it's from her first novel, The Appeal. And I enjoyed this, but it's definitely for people who've read The Appeal, especially since The Appeal is spoiled in the book. So don't pick this one up first if you want to go in blind. If you don't want to know what happens in The Appeal, don't pick up The Christmas Appeal first, because it does spoil it. But it was a nice, enjoyable little holiday read. It's very slight, and her other novels are not slight, but that's just the nature of the beast. Okay. Oh, then it looks like I went to the library sale, because all the rest of my books I picked up at the library sale. So I will go through those. I have 2 Barbara Kingsolver books that I picked up. So Barbara Kingsolver is an author that I want to read more of. I have not read much from her. So I kind of went to the library sale to see what was there. And the first one I picked up is Pigs in Heaven, which might be the sequel to The Bean Trees, which I have read. That was her first book. I don't know. If that isn't the sequel, then Animal Dreams is, which is the other one that I got. So one of them is the sequel to The Bean Trees. I can't remember which one. Have not read either one yet. I picked up The True Story of Hansel and Gretel by Louise Murphy. This was very much an impulse pickup off the shelves. I'd never heard of this book, and it looked interesting. This is a World War II Holocaust story, but it's Hansel and Gretel in it. I did when I got home, I went and I looked it up on Goodreads, and it has a fairly good rating. So, that's an interesting book. Again, not a huge priority to get to it, but it's up there. And then I have a book that I really need to read. In fact, before I did this video, the cat has something to say. Yes, Alice? What do you want? No, she just wanted to say hi, I guess. Before this, I was writing my 10 before the end, which is something that Brett's Book Stacks does. And I just, looking at this, realized this one's going on my 10 before the end. And that is Homegoing by Yaa Gyasi. Everyone I know who's read this loves it. And it sounds like a book I would love. And it's just been sitting on my shelf. So yeah, I will put this on my list of 10 books to read before the end of the year. Now, the next 2 books I did pick up at the library sale, but I have unhauled them without reading them. And they are both by Alice Munro. They are The first one is Dear Life, and the second is Runaway. I'm not even going to put the pictures up of them. If you want to know why, Google Alice Munro. But that's my choice to not read them, and so they're out. I'm not even putting a picture up. And then finally, the final book that I got from the library book sale in October was Manhattan Beach by Jennifer Egan. So this book's been on my list for a really long time. I've been, it would come in from the library and I wouldn't get a chance to read it. So I would go back and blah, 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 blah. So I decided just to pick it up because it was like, what was it? $4. So that's upstairs on my shelf, still not read. But it's closer, better, because it's actually here. I don't have to keep getting it out of the library and not reading it. But yeah. So, there you go. That is my October 2023. So if you were keeping count, that was 22 books. 7 of them have been read and 2 have been unhauled. So 9 of those books are going to go off the list. I won't be talking about them again because they're done. But next year when I come back and do this, I will do 2023 and 2024. And I really hope 2024 is a smaller haul, but the book sale is still at the end of this month. So I don't know. I said in my September haul, not book haul revisit, but my September haul, that I wasn't going to do it, but that's when I thought that it started in September, not October. And I don't know if I have that willpower, to tell you the truth. But anyway, we'll see. So next year I will do October 2024. And then what I did not read off this list, I will address again, and we'll see how long it takes to get, my October down to 0. I know I went through that pretty quickly. As I said, this is my day where I'm filming a bunch of stuff, but I'm also getting over a cold, so my voice is not holding up. So I'm sorry. That was super rapid fire, but there you go. Subscribe. Thank you very much. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.